All right, hello, hello, hello. Looks like you guys can see me. Looks like the sound is coming through. Let me know. Just confirm in chat if you can. Um, all right. So today is probably going to be a bit of an accelerated session. Most actually has a client call at like 10, I think. So I'm going to get Kip. So we'll see if Kip wants to cooperate today or not cooperate. We'll see. Um, she's going to try to load him down. And then again, you'll see him coming in. And if you guys start hearing a little baby, it's because, yes, there will be a baby here. We'll see. We did it with Jin. We'll see if Kip is going to let Kim run today. Yeah, he'll be in. I mean, he'll be in at 10 o'clock. We'll see whether or not he's going to sit in his chair and balance, or if I'm going to have to stand up and present and balance with him. And we'll see. Or, like I said, I mean, Jin's fine. Jin will just talk your ear off, and then she'll get shy when she realizes that like people can hear her. Jin's fine. Jin, I could literally sit Jin next to me with her tablet and say, "Hey, just Daddy's working. Just watch her play," and she'd be fine. Kip, he's not quite there yet. So, but if Melissa loads him down with food, he may just go take a nap. This is kind of like his morning nap time. But just figured I would warn you guys if you hear a little baby going, like he's a grunter. Melissa jokes that we call them the man bear pig because he just does a lot of he likes to grunt, so he's very grunty. So if you hear a little baby grunting, it's not me, it's the baby. So, but he'll be here in 30 minutes. So let's get through as much as we can, just in case I have to cut things short today. Obviously, seeing dollar weakness across the board. Pretty much in the last 24 hours. Again, we got the super weak data from Powell. Today we had Bernard. Again, I think that she's going to come in as the. I think it's going to be like good cop, bad cop. Not to say, not to say that she's bad, but I think she's going to come in more aggressive today. I think starting from 10, 10, 15, we should see the dollar starting to rebound a bit across the board. The little man bear pig. Yeah, yeah, it's a good description. I can't, I don't want to say that I can't. It's good. So we'll see what comes out with that. So far this morning, PPI is down a little bit. People are literally like, wait a second, inflation's not bad, it's slowing. Kind of. I mean, it's the change in the price of finished goods and services sold by producers. Basically meaning that the change in price isn't as high, but we're seeing inflation start to catch up. Remember, this PPI number is everything. This is the minus, right? This is minus food and energy, meaning that there's not as much inflation on the energy side anymore, food and energy. Now it's everything else is catching up, because if you take those two out, you can see that one is still growing. So it's kind of a weird number to interpret today. And then again, unemployment claims are up a little bit, and I don't know. It's kind of interesting that is up. Again, the labor system is supposedly fixed, great, getting hot, but we'll see. Like I said, I think she's going to bring. I hate to say bring the pain, but I feel like that's what she's been brought in to do, to be that like super dominant, because if she has the same exact, and which is weird because she's already been labeled as like being similar to Powell. I'll tell you right now, based off the decisions, if they're slow and the economy crashes, and she's the same, that we have that continuality, then that's like why she was brought in. She's done. She's out. She'll be, and I already can tell you, you guys already know. You know who will be in, right? If she's not different. So for her to survive, she has to have a different stance than Powell. And like I said, even if he does works and she's different, it doesn't matter. If what he has doesn't work and it's exactly the same, it's going to matter. She's out. She will be wiped clean with the next administration. So, yeah. Today, 30-year bond auction is not going to be that big of a deal. I don't think we have to worry about that. It's all going to be about what Bernard says. And then tomorrow morning, obviously, retail sales is a pretty big number. It's a top 5. Expected to be lower than it was before. I actually wouldn't be surprised if this was a little bit of a miss to the top side. Again, it's always hard with the holidays and the after holidays and things like that. Remember, we were supposed to run out of stuff, but I don't think we've run out of everything. And thus far, all the numbers we've seen have looked great. We haven't seen Target saying, "Oh my God, we have so much surplus from Christmas." You're not hearing that. And in fact, it seems like it was the exact opposite. When you have things out for Easter at Christmas and things, the reason those are out there is because they don't have more supply to put in. So when you've used up all your supply, it's kind of hard that your sales go down. And then obviously you're going to get some sales of other things as well because there's nothing left. So I really, with earnings starting, I really feel like, again, I think that this could be a surprise. Now, for some reason, I mean, the retail sales is expected to come in 0, completely flat. If that comes in negative, then yeah, that could definitely. It's one of those scenarios where bad could be good. right? You may say, well, wait, retail sales is down. The market should be crashing. Nah, because if retail sales is bad, then the Fed doesn't have to allegedly move as fast, even though we're already at 40-year high. So it's a bit late right now. But people will look at that and be like, no, this is awesome for the indices. And it's kind of like it's the paradox that we're in right now that like bad is good. And again, if something is too good, I mean, God forbid it comes in at three, that could be horrible for the market. I mean, earnings would look good, but it means that the Fed, yeah, retail sales are good. We're in such a strong place. Why would we wait any longer? Right. So it's always weird when good is bad and bad is good. Right. I believe there's many, many songs out there that are, that have that same kind of context. So yeah, that's what we got with retail sales tomorrow morning. And again, that'll be at 8:30 before we speak. I will not be on tomorrow. I will be on with Todd, and then I got to roll. Like I said, I have that conference that's in Baltimore. Thankfully, I don't have to be there as early as I had to before. They canceled the early morning class for me, but I still have to get up there at a specific time. So I won't be able to present tomorrow. We'll be back on Monday, but I will be on with Todd tomorrow morning because it's 15 minutes, and then I can roll. I have to roll like literally right after that. Like told him I can be on, but at 9 o'clock I gotta go. But at least I don't have to leave my house at 6:30 in the morning and be up there, which is definitely a change, and I am happy about it. Um, I can actually drink my coffee at a civilized pace tomorrow and not, IV it out at 6:30. But I won't be on presenting tomorrow morning. But that's one to watch out for. All right, so let's go to charts. Let's start with the dollar. So basically, starting yesterday morning, this is when Powell came in. We saw the dollar kind of pulling back, and again, this was all the weakness that everything that Powell basically said and didn't say. And again, I can't say that I'm surprised that he said what he said. He's been kind of like the weak guy forever. It's like a wet blanket, basically. It's there. Now, we are pushing down. And again, her statement, although people mostly know what her statement is going to be, the people that haven't read it already, it is approaching a level at 94.57, which is an area of buyers. So again, I think it is due for someone a reversal. This is a lot based off of what Powell said. If she comes in with weak, I'd be extremely surprised. But again, coming down to an area where the buyers, that's opening us up for reversals in pretty much anything related to the dollar. So I kind of like where we're at. Aussie dollar. Now, again, we talked yesterday about being able to try to get short up top, and you can see there was such an explosion, and it hit, and it did pull back, and it hit again, and then started the base, and then kind of used it as a Harry Potter. It came up in base and went higher, and again, that's what happens. I mean, again, zones are not going to work 100% of the time. When they break, you have to have a strategy, and the strategy is when we catch the pullback on the other side, created a great long opportunity. Now, it's been a while, and we knew we had an area up higher, and again, this is an area that's been hit a few times, and it actually was the trade setup was already pushing it up. We knew that was there, and the next real major level. Oops, not that one. I'm going to grab this one. Is really not sitting up till. Wow, where are we at here? There we go. Really, the next major reversal level is not even. I mean, it's not up till 73.60. So we're a bit far from that right now. Again, we're about 54 pips. We know that we've had some levels up here and we have some sellers. It's not the easiest identifiable sellers, but we know we got some sellers here. So with this up, I expect we are due for a reversal. Again, had you taken the Harry Potter off the 72.73, awesome job. It was a late last night kind of pullback on it though, and took off. But what I do like about it now, and again, you could have drawn a level here and said, okay, on the pullback, we have a bit of confirmation. I'm going to go long from this level. I like the fact that we had such a big explosion through. So again, this one is kind of doing its 1, 2, 3 and then cranking through. It's not really giving us as many pullbacks, but look at this. This is the big explosion from Powell yesterday, and it's a decent runner to the downside. It's about 54 pips, which is a decent run for this one. So you could take it from either level. Like I said, we have the buying above. There's a bit of a retest. It's kind of hit 2, maybe 3 times. If we get a big push, I think if we get a break, I think there'll be a shorting opportunity here to kind of reverse this back down. And I mean, the reality is, yeah, I mean, some of the, that number was off. Powell was extremely weak yesterday, but everybody knows what's coming, right? And you can see the 1 to 3 is only about halfway to the downside. So there's plenty of room for this one to run if we're able to break through. And that level is coming in right at 72.65, right? For that break. And again, all we're doing is this was a short opportunity. It did push back down again. It came up and based in, tells us it's going to break. And then it became the old, became the new. When it's 1 to 3, and now we're kind of topping, finding invisible sellers up here right when she's going to talk. So I would say probably more of a short, unfortunately not the ideal setup. I mean, if we're going to mark it off, you'd be looking at the level there. So it's we're kind of there. I mean, the question is, do you want to take the risk to the downside? We do have enough room to run, so it's there, but I kind of like the confirmation to punch lower of her bringing it back and having dollar strength come strong back in again. So, yeah, that one is kind of right. It's supposed to be right there. So yeah, that's a 1 to 3. So 1 to 2 is is right there. So you can see plenty of room. Make sure that you're out of this position. Again, overall profit target would need to be out by 72.15. Right, 72.15 would be your profit on the downside. Okay. ASEAN. So ASEAN, we had a level identified up here. It's been there a while. We talked about it. It was up at the 78.6 level. We just missed it. And again, it was the same rollover that we saw. Again, that 5:30-ish time frame, the European reversal level, we brought it right back. This one doesn't have as clear of a Harry Potter to the downside. Again, it had its 4 hits before breaking on the top side, so we don't need this level right now. I would say where this one has its lower kind of Harry Potter would be kind of more down here. Again, you had the decent base. There was a little bit, you can see there's a little bit of a candle action here. Came back, pushed it to the brink. So again, it's not an area I want to go long from. And then again, a confirmation here. So it's not as clean. I think the Aussie dollar is a cleaner break. There is that level of basing here, which has been, again, I don't think this one holds next time it comes down. But there is a level a little bit lower. This is a bit more of a hiccup that we don't have in the Aussie dollar. So again, be cautious of that one. We missed this reversal. It wasn't kind of an upper peak that was much, much higher. So still got some room to run on that. Yeah, not much more for Aussie Yen. Aussie Yen's kind of getting a little muddled as we go into the end of the week. And again, for next week, again, I mean, if we can get back up in there, I wouldn't. I mean, there's a couple levels in here. I mean, if we can rally up tomorrow, I think 84.27 is a great short. This is one I needed to, you know, this one has gotten quite choppy. It hasn't been as clean, and the yen has definitely been a player. So it's one I kind of got to go back and, again, occasionally what I'll do is I'll just delete everything we have on it and then start from scratch to kind of go forward with. Because again, I don't need a lot of the older levels on this one. And again, fib wise, the fibs are still valid. The 76.8, or I'm sorry, the 78.6 is still a valid level. It hasn't hit, so I can't really remove it. But I'd kind of like to remove it because again, we had the strong area here. We had the strong push down there below. We still got, right around the 50 has still been an area we've been pulling back. And again, those old sellers, those old buyers, that, were over here supporting it. Now will become sellers on the downside. So a couple different things playing on this one. Euro yen. Euro yen is literally just, again, we didn't really break lower. I was hoping that we would get all the way down. There's a story here about, Boris, potentially resigning. I don't know what the actual chances are. It's super funny that, they're calling for his resignation because he went to a party during a lockdown. I'm like, man, I wish they would have done that in the United States. We would gotten rid of all the crazies in Senate. I mean, AOC and all the drama that she's had where she keeps going places with no mask on, and we'd get rid of all the crazies if they did it, right? But it's funny that Boris goes to a party and now it's like, no, he needs to get out. And again, Boris's main job was to get Brexit done. Brexit is done now. So it's kind of like what I almost feel like it's what you were hired to do is now complete. So I wouldn't be surprised if, again, maybe the next political cycle getting out, but I don't know. It's like Churchill, right? Churchill was brought in, do the war, and then get out afterwards. It's kind of different. Boris's job was Brexit. Brexit is over. We're beyond. We're a year past. So I think, it's there. But what they're saying is this could boost the pound. This is a good thing. Kind of why I think we're not falling. It's why we've kind of had the pull up. So, again, we're back inside of the channel. We're right sitting in the middle between the dotted lines on both sides. We'll see how it rolls out. I still like lower. I still like 83.09. But we'll see. Hold on one sec, guys. Is he going to fall asleep? All right. Melissa's confident. She's got him next to me in the carrier. We have 12 minutes, and she has given him the special bounce in his chair that he will be unconscious. But he's watching the screens right now. He's looking at the screens, and he's like, what is that? So we'll see. Debbie, you may get your wish in a second. Euro yen. So you can see Euro yen is also not really given a ton of strength. We're getting a pullback. And overall, we are more bullish euro. Bearish euro, bullish pound. You can see the 131, 42, 40, I'm sorry, 131.43. It's kind of the level. Yesterday, we were sitting right up at that level. We talked about potential shorts coming from it. And again, one short down, two shorts. There's been two entries. Both of them have come to completion. We're still looking for overall targets down to 130.67. It's obviously not there yet. And again, that's a decent level, right? It's a decent level down here. We even have a kind of a confirmation bounce. So, I just reestablished this alert. I'm kind of looking for that when comes to full profit target. Again, when this is black, the alert's there. Isn't there some issues with the Northern Ireland border? Sean, when is there ever not issues with the Northern Ireland border? I mean, between the Northern Ireland fishing rights and the border, yeah, there's always drama with it. But yeah, whether they're going to invoke the protocol or not invoke the protocol, it's just a daily thing, right? Um, yeah, there's always an issue with the northern border, you know. Um, I'm sure modern day historians are like, man, if it wasn't for that William Wallace guy, we would have so many less problems than we have now, right? Um, I feel like that movie. I feel like Braveheart. It's kind of like whenever we have these like war movies or anything like that, like we celebrate. Oh, Russia is bad. Look at this. We won the Cold War. I feel like Braveheart is one of the like what was that like the Mel Gibson movie, right? Where it's like, yeah, we kicked the British out, right? I feel like that's not very popular in the UK, right? I feel like Braveheart is also probably not their favorite movie. But yeah, Northern Ireland border, but that nothing's going to change. Even after, I mean, ten premieres from now, um, it'll be the same thing, right? So euro yen, kind of the same thing. The yen is kind of muddling things around. We are on the higher curve side, not all the way to the extreme. That area has been hit a few times, but again, tested, and it's barely breaking in. So I think we need to still respect this 131.43. And again, yesterday giving us two short opportunities out of it. It's not like a 90 pipper, but it was 45, 47 pips both times. So again, great shorting level. Hopefully, you guys will be able to profit from it. But we're still looking for this to come down and tag 130.67. Now, euro dollar. His eyes are wide open, Melissa. Buddy, what's going on? Buddy. He's wearing his Christmas jams. Oh, buddy. We'll see how long this lasts. Um, little bit early, but we're good. So euro dollar continuing to climb. Again, here was the news from yesterday. It looks just like the dollar index. Little, if we take the dollar index and flip it upside down, this is exactly what it looks like. We are coming into areas of sellers. So again, Pal speaking is not going to hold a level that's been pushed through. So we'll delete this one just to kind of keep the charts clean. And when we look up to the left, so we know that price is sitting right here, and this is what we're dealing with right now. There's some sellers here. I mean, again, we're kind of stuck in this channel. Price is right here, right? Price is bouncing around here. So we've pushed up. We're in an area of sellers. We've seen them there before. It's not a major level, but it is one that we do have some confirmations off of, just as her speech is getting, is going to be released. So we've seen the dollar index again. Dollar index. Let's see. Push it all the way across. Let's push it down. Dollar index. We should be right at that level. We're close. Dollar index is here. Again, look at this. It's identical. Flip, base, flip, boom, boom. Euro dollar is up, base, up, boom, and boom. So exactly the same, but again, it is set up more for a short. Unfortunately, we're not, this whole area is kind of where we're at. And again, if I extend it across, you guys can see this is the area we bounce it off. It's the same sellers. So we're kind of there. This level is like an 11 pip zone. So it's not necessarily a horrible, position. Again, it's been more or less since yesterday, a straight, kind of straight up. So I mean, we're due for profit taking. Like I said, it's not like they're going to say, "Hey, you know what? We're not going to raise interest." I mean, she's not going to say we're not going to raise interest rates for 3 times this year. It's already been kind of released. If she does, I think it's kind of like, what is wrong with these people? FOMC says one thing, then Powell says something else, and then she says something totally different. It's kind of like, are you guys meeting? Like, are you guys having meetings with the same people? Um, yeah, I think this is a potential for a decent short, right? We'll see. We got 7 minutes for that to come out. Pound yen. Also pretty muddled. We had a level yesterday morning, right at that 9 o'clock time frame. We were up at the 157.61, and it pulled back. It pulled back down again and kind of pushed back to. I mean, if we pull it up to here, you guys can see pulled back a little bit past the 50. And again, there was buyers there, so it came right back down to the same level. The entry would have been a little bit harder to get into. So yesterday, had you gotten on the 157.61, you did push down. You hit. We didn't get to our full target yet. I still think it has more to run, but again, yen is very, very muddled at this point. I think top and bottom wise, we're still focusing on 155.85 and 157.61. I'm going to leave this zone on here at the 23, but I'm going to turn this one yellow. Again, it was a base, it was a top, it was a top. This was number 4. It based in there and kind of used it. Then it based in there again and dropped. And then again on the other side, late last night it hit, and then we kind of based in there again early at 5:30 this morning for their reversal. So it's a level. It's not what I'm probably using it more for a target, but kind of like how the price keeps getting stuck in there, that 157.30. So I'm going to make sure that it's something that, we have on there. Again, whether we trade off of it later, I don't know. But right now, I'm still waiting for the 156.50 to hit. inside of this range. It would be interesting to see if there is a Boris, you know, retiring, to see how far this would actually spike. But right now, top range again really hasn't changed much since yesterday. Now, pound yen, and again, I'm trying to rush through this. I want to get to this one as well. Again, I'll remove the dotted line. I mean, here I'll put this down here. Right, that's where the news was. There's your dotted line. I'll remove it. There's the explosion forward. And again, it was the weakness we were looking for. Um, this one kind of positioned itself, and again, Harry Pottered off. Um, it's the same. It's more or less the same as the euro. Again, we got a zone sitting up here. We're kind of sitting in this zone right now. Again, Dixie at a level, euro at a level, pound at a level. Can it go higher? Sure, it absolutely can. I think this one is a little bit different of a case than the euro because, again, I do think this is more of a pound strength kind of scenario. I do like dollar strength versus European weakness because, again, euro pound it's kind of flat, right? It's kind of flat, but we did have kind of a big push and kind of a pullback. So it's kind of like, well, what's happening, right? And this to me looks more like it wants to roll back down. So I feel like at this moment in time, the pound is a little bit stronger. So this is like really pound strength versus potential dollar strength. So, like you said, do I think it'll roll? Yeah. Do I think it'll be as good as a trading opportunity? Not really. Not really. I think we'll get more out of the euro dollar on that one. Okay. And again, we're 4 minutes before her actual release. Dollar CAD. So dollar CAD. Yesterday we were sitting. Let's see. Yesterday we were sitting right here, right? And we talked about the target and how important 125 was going to be. Now we continue to cross. You can see that we did get a bit of a Harry Potter in here. Not really on this pullback, but the second pullback as it's dropping lower. And this is on the heels of oil. Actually being it was down. Now oil is up slightly. It looks like again this is the U.S. trader is getting in there to push oil back higher because that's what we like to do. I- you know, I like this one, but I do, as I said the other day, I feel that this one right now with everything going on, with CAD making aggressive steps forward and saying, yeah, we're going to start, we need to start raising interest rates. I feel like CAD's going to be more mobile. I mean, Bernard can definitely release this and go crazy with this one, but what we're seeing right now is we're not seeing the inflation in the energies anymore. I mean, she's going to say that inflation is their main target, but seeing the inflation come out of the energy sector based off of what we're seeing in PPI, I don't think it's going to be as affected. And again, if the economy is that great and driving forward, oil should be higher and that should continue to provide strength. So it's another strong, strong scenario. And, I just I feel like the market has more belief in Canada right now than the United States as far as who's going to raise. Now, there are some hiccups in here. We just passed one. There's another little one coming in here at 124.40, only about 15 pips lower than where we are. And again, this is a decent push. So I do think the 124 number, and actually 124 is sitting right there. Right here's your 124 right there. So you can see the last time they hit 124, there was a strong rally off of it. So, do we shoot for is this our next target? Probably. This would be our downside target of where we're looking for this to go, right? Could we get a potential kick up? Sure. Sure, we could, but we know we have some selling sitting right above. So, is this going to be the low right now, 2 minutes before going higher? I don't think so. I think any kick up that we get in this one, I think it continues to roll back down again as people really digest what the Canadian, the RBC has really said recently. So I think this comes down, and like I said, our target at 125 is hit. I think our next target down here for shorts is going to be 124 flat. And again, I think we can potentially get here. Every time this goes lower, it's like, oh, we should transfer some more money from Canada. like, is there more? How much more do we have? Could we keep transferring? And you kind of like almost play it back on itself. So it's kind of crazy. Real life currency trading, right? It's not in a broker; it's in our regular bank accounts as we transfer from rental properties from in Canada to rental properties here, right? Or bank accounts here. It's like, yes, this is awesome. Getting paid a raise, right? Dollar Swiss. So dollar Swiss. We had a level down here that we were talking about, and we've had the level for a while. This one, 91.11, and you can see that we kind of got front run on a little bit, and they started the base above, and then hit it and popped, and it's kind of like not always the best. This is probably going to break, and it did. It did break this morning, and a lot of this is also coming out of this. Okay, I mentioned this kind of jokingly at the end of the conversation with Todd. I'm like, hey, you know what? Russia says that they don't like the sanctions, right? The threats are negative. They're pointless. Of course they're pointless because they're being put on you, right? Um, I don't know. I feel like this is like one of the dumbest headlines I've ever seen. that they say the newest the sanctions threats are negative and they're pointless. Well, yeah, I mean they're question is, are they threats or are they real? Um, Besides the my response back to the Kremlin, like "Hello, Captain Obvious," yes, sanctions are supposed to be negative, and no, they are not pointless, right? Um, uh, but anyway, but saying that they would be a breach of a breach in relations, it's like, well, yeah, you could say that they're a breach in relations, but then again, I mean, invading another country and you know that is kind of also a breach in relations, and like can we save lives and save the drama of all that other stuff by just not doing it? Yeah, we could. um but I feel like the Kremlin in general is having a field day right now with us. Last week they made us they made us admit that nuclear weapons are bad, we should never use them. At the same time, they sent 100,000 troops to a border that, and then they assist Kazakhstan, and they shoot to kill order to put down a revolt there. And you know, I just, it's kind of funny that they're like, sanctions are so negative, guys. Why would you do that? But again, this is also helping fuel the Swiss. Okay. Whenever there's talk of sanctions war, anything like that, the Swiss is always kind of, get some power. What are you doing, buddy, buddy? Yeah, buddy, buddy. He's got a huge smile on his face. You going to suck your thumb? He's becoming a thumb sucker. And I wonder if it's because we don't give him a pacifier. Jin, like the boys love pacifiers. Jin, she didn't really do much with them. She actually used it more as like kind of like a I'm a 2 year old, but I want to be a baby thing still. He's all about like he's 3 months old and he drools like he's teething already. So I feel like you know, he actually may go ahead. Go ahead. He does the thing where he puts his finger over his nose too, Debbie. Just FYI. He like hooks his index finger so he can do it more. But he's drooling at 3 months. I'm like, yo, you're too young to get teeth. So um is that good? He's happy, so we're gonna keep rolling. But yeah, so great news out of the Kremlin. You know, are you talking? No, he's making noise. So, all right. So here's a little bit. It's 10:01. We're seeing a little bit of a bounce now. Let's see if the dollar index is doing much off of it. It's a shame it's not just a little bit lower. It's kicking up a little bit. So I'm gonna give it 2 minutes or 3 minutes to her, the news articles have to be typed. They already kind of knew what she was going to say. So I'll give it a couple minutes just to get the big, juicy headlines out there. And then we can kind of see what everybody else is going to react to. Um, Looks like Russell is doing okay right now. Looks like Russell's maybe kicking back a little bit. We'll see. There, it's ticking down, ticking up, holding. We'll see if the indices are going to hold right now. Doesn't look like she's been too inflammatory yet. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see where that goes. All right, so we were with CAD. Let's go to Swiss. Like I said, Swiss, not surprised by the Kremlin. And again, this should pop up a little bit. I was hoping it was going to get just a little bit farther down. I was looking for a long down there. We'll see. Pound yen. So pound yen also had a level. Now this was one of those alert ones. It came in at 114.69. Again, huge drop yesterday. Was looking for profit taking to come from it, and it ended up slicing through that zone with not even any pullback. It did give us a Harry Potter entry, a base that pulled back and then went lower. Ended up coming back and using that same level. So it's funny, this old level that we were looking for longs off of ended up giving a short opportunity and then another short opportunity this morning. So again, old became new. And remember, this is one of those things that um, you know, when I'm talking with traders, and those of you that have been through mentoring, it's kind of like you always have to have a plan, but you should have more than one plan. Because remember, you know, and if you're going to just do a set and forget, it's a little bit different. If you're looking to go long this one, great. But we knew that Powell news could drive through a 30-minute level with no problem. Question is, do you just abandon it and throw it in tower? I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Okay, whatever. I'm out for the day. All right. You got to be able to use these things. And again, the data doesn't disappear. And this is a great example of, yeah, maybe you got stopped out on the downside had you taken this one long. And again, you were fighting an FOMC speech, right? Or, Powell, not a speech, but, Powell making comments. He's one of the most influential people in the markets, right? So you had to know that this could be an issue. And literally it sliced through from 830 down, right? But then, don't give up on it. Had you used this for a short, it was an absolutely amazing level for a short. And even this morning, from like the European Open right here, that was still 43 pips to the downside, right? So now, right now, it doesn't look like it's having a lot of movement based off of what Bernard is saying, but Again, this one is going to be insulated because of the dollar and the yen, so it affects not only interest rates, it affects the overall economy. So it's kind of like the double whammy there. You guys know I don't like to use this one for news, but I do think retail sell should be an interesting position. The issue we have with this is there's not really a lot of great levels over here that we're like, oh, that's good. That's an awesome level. That's really, really good. Price is sitting here right now. Right, you guys can see the ticker on the side. So there's a level in here, and we've kind of hit this before. We've touched it here, touched it here. This is exactly what we're pushed into right now. So it's not the freshest of levels. There's another little kind of similar hiccup right down here, and you can see nice base, a little test, came down, based in there, and then took off, but it didn't leave like at a really accelerated rate. Really, the next big energetic move of candles is all the way down here. So let me put a ray on that one. It's a little easier to look at. You know what? Let's take this off. Let's put a ray in to there. 113.75 is really kind of the next. Where do we have strong explosive movement from? Unfortunately, you can see that's all the way down here. But I mean, if I bring these across, you can see that this is where the first issue was. Look at all the basing in there, right? And then if I take the second level, it's right below where we are. So, I'm not going to do much with this. I mean, it hit it and then fought back, and then hit it and then based, and then went all the way up again, and then closed here, and then opened up and then went lower. So it's basing where it should. It's not a level that we can really use for anything besides that. I would say right now, let's peel this Harry Potter back. Let's put on a new level up top and use kind of bracket it there. I know it's a little bit deep. We'll put it there. It's a little bit deep. I mean, it's covering the top and bottom of the green candle right here. And again, confirmation, confirmation. Top side, I'm looking for this as a potential reversal level. So again, if you know how to set an alert, set yourself an alert up there at 114.62. Question is, do we take it long from here? I mean, I like the long here. This one, it's going to need news. Where are we right now? We're 20 pips from it. Well, yeah, buddy. Yeah, kiki. I just feel that this is not the strongest of levels. Its exit is not great. It's been touched before. I just don't want to throw a trade on there. I mean, if we're there at news time, yeah, it could provide the buying opportunity we're looking for. But I really like the 113.75 much better. So I think 114.62 at the top is that decent pullback. And overall, let me see something here. I guess I need to go all the way back. Let me see. Yeah, look at that. So right around that same level, if this is truly the bottom, we start to kind of rally back up again. The 23.6 is right around that same level at 114.62. And then we have kind of this racetrack all the way up until kind of this area. Again, there's the 50 sitting right there, right? 50 and the 61.8. So our next level of above is kind of sitting also kind of right in the middle of that really kind of popular fib range as well. So it's got two decent levels in there. I think both we should kind of respect and look for it to go from there. Looks like Bitcoin it's up a little bit, nothing crazy there. Let's go see what the dollar's doing. Dollar's holding flat. It's not really doing much off that speech. Look at oil. Yeah, there's the top that I kind of mentioned in oil, and yeah, we're kind of sitting there right now, right? Oil looks like it's been able to slide under the radar a little bit. It was up a little bit, now it's down a little bit. 230. We got to mark it to there. I hear you, buddy. I don't know if you guys can hear him. It doesn't look like you can hear him. Maybe when I'm speaking. It has a certain level of noise canceling, and I think I'm looking for like the mic. I'm looking for the sound thing to see if it's moving with his noise. No, it doesn't look like it's picking him up. It looks like it's erasing him out mostly, which is kind of funny. You guys maybe there was like one peep in there that it did move, but it's definitely not as high. So I think that the level is canceling him out, which is kind of funny. Yeah, buddy, they can't hear you. Yeah, yeah. Like constant Debbie can kind of hear. Yeah, when I'm talking, you should hear him because it's not noise canceling. And when I stop talking, it's trying to find noise. But then he was going solid like ah. Yeah, it's very faint. Yeah, you should just be able to barely hear him. It's not even registering on. Like I said, you guys were maybe able to hear it. It's not registering at all, and there's actually noise canceling software on. So it looks like it's kind of. It looks like it's working. Yeah, he should be super faint. If I pick him up though, then you'll. Yeah, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you, buddy. I'll pick him up for the last thing. Yeah. Oh, huh? What? Yeah, he's been like, it's 6 minutes since I've eaten. You need to feed me now. This kid eats so much. Um, so oil, I would say oil right now probably a bit more on the negative side today. Obviously, her speech was mentioning targeting inflation that unfortunately ropes in oil to it. Um, the unemployment numbers today also a little bit higher than expected. So again, should technically be negative for oil. We'll see if that's the true top. If it comes back up here, I would not take another short. If you're already short, you're probably fine in this position. I don't even know how far it needs to move. Does it have enough room? I don't know. Um, Yeah, it just pushes it back to the lows of the morning. So, yeah, I mean, it's there. If you're already in, you're good. If you're not in, if it pushes back up again, I would not get re-entered again. It's really going to continue to test, and it's been here once, twice, three times. I mean, this is really the fourth hit. So, if you're not short, don't be. Again, make sure you trail this one correctly on the way down. Natural gas is kind of having some issues. We talked about this yesterday, being down here at 10 o'clock. It ended up holding its inventory shot it higher. Are you going to try to talk louder than me now? Yeah. You gonna try to talk louder than me? What? I may have to pick him up here. What? You want to get out? All right. We can't talk I'll pick you up, but we can't talk now. Let's see if this works. Come here. I'll pick you up. Oh, there we go. You come up here. You do kicky up here. You want to see the computers? Ooh, what's all that? What's all that? There's like a bunch of stuff moving around, and he's like, "Ooh." Nobody called child services. My child is playing with computers at 3 months. Um, anyway, natural gas I see coming back down again. But again, we do have a little bit of a hiccup here. As I said, their inventories will kind of move this around. Look how this level based here and then came back down and we based in it again. So overall, natural gas has been extremely volatile, down 8% today. Like this is worse than a crypto right, at this point, right? Up 6% one day, down 8% the next day. It's a wild ride for sure. And again, it's still bouncing within levels that we know are there, but you know, it's been more of a this was a basically a push up till 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then we're reversing back down. And yesterday morning at 9 o'clock, this is exactly where we were. So we're only a little bit off in 24 hours. You're like, wait a second, what? Yeah, it went up from the speech yesterday and then back down again. But I do think fundamental reasons. I do think that natural gas would, technically is higher. It's just unfortunately with the volatility that's providing right now, people are seeing this like, I got to get into this one. I got to get in, and then it's whipping all the way back down again. Again, yesterday it was like 8% up. Today, 8% back down again. So it's literally like all over the place. Gold. Gold is confused. Gold is stuck. Yesterday we talked about this 123 level, and you can see it made an attempt through at 11 o'clock, and it did its best. It's like, we're through, and then it got sucked back down again. So I mean, if you drawn a new level from the highs yesterday, there was your zone up top. You can see it touched at 7:30 this morning and really started to push back down again. I think we need to mark off this level right here. And again, I don't need the fib at this point. We've retraced. Reason why I would say keep that one on there is because it's been a level of basing, right? We know this entire area, there were some sellers. And again, I can remove those now. I don't need this. Let's bring this across the top. We know that was sitting up there. There was news. Yeah. So there was a strong push up, right? Level of basing, we came back down, and this is not a very fast exit. It's kind of a slow chop in and then slow leaving. There is still some orders in there because, again, they were able to put consecutive highs in. If we chop back in that level again and we break through 1813, I think we're looking for this one to come back down again. And again, that's 1813, and then we push back down and we touch the 1800 again. So really where we are in this environment, I think at this point the story has kind of been played out. There was a little bit more inflation that we could gain from what we saw yesterday from Powell, but at this point, I'd be looking more for okay, what does it look like when we crush inflation back down again? Because again, at this point, you are kind of going to safety, right? It's not so much about a hedge at this point. And again, every time they mention rising interest rates, gold tanks because it's like, oh, we're crushing inflation. Okay, so again, remember, great hedge for inflation in an inflationary environment. In the let's crush inflation, not as good, and it's red. Now, silver and gold at least are on the same page now. They were Silver was up a little bit. It looks like actually silver's rolling back down as well. That 2309 level. If I continue this across, look at this. I mean, it barely peaked out, 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 peaked out. I think this one's coming back down again, guys. I think overall to the downside, I think we look to push back down into this level at 2268. And again, that would be actually, let's put this down here. 23 was our first target up top. So at this point, I would say would not be surprised for this to run back down again. It's a pretty decent move. If I wanted to run like a true Harry Potter on this one, I would say probably using that as the level. Although it is basing quite a bit up top. This one may be taking a little bit too much risk in it. Um, it may be more of something along those lines. I mean, it, there's a double there, and again, we're getting basing right off of that same level. So I feel like that's going to have to be kind of where it is. So again, with a confirmation push down here in silver, I mean, your 1 to 3 is right there. There's plenty of room before this gap. So yeah, I feel like we can break through, right? I mean, if we can break through out of this 2303 level, again, psychological level already flat at 23, we look for 2267. Now, again, is it going to be fast? No, it's going to be choppy. It's going to be ugly, but that's just what we're dealing with now. Um, Looks like the indices are definitely all pulling back. So let's drop down to a 15. Yeah, I mean, there's what we talked about this morning with Todd, right? If we could pull up into that zone, we knew what was happening at 10 o'clock. We know what she was going to mention. And since the 10 o'clock hour came out, you can see where it opened and where the pushback down was. So, um, pretty measured, right? A pretty measured move. What are you doing, buddy? Oh, God bless you. God bless you. You're being good. Um, this was really 100% expected. I'd like to see at what time today it will take for it to be fully observed. Let's run some fibs on this and see kind of where people are like, oh, well, here's the overnight. Yeah, it's already blown through. It's already gone through the 50. So there'll be people that are getting short, or actually we're getting long and got stopped out now. But again, you guys knew better. We talked about this earlier with Nadex. There's the 15. Actually, there's the 15. I had it on the 30 before, but you should be almost out. Almost out. Let's see. 1 to 3 is right. Right. Oh my God, I'm so close. Right there. Exactly. 1 to 3. Got it. So look, it's almost out, and that's where it's a turn. It should have a little bit of a hiccup with the buyers and buyers right here. So I look for this one to come all the way back down again. Like I said, we talked about this yesterday. It drove right up into a 15-minute level. We knew where it was opening. Again, small risk on there. The 1 to 3 is coming in. Again, where should the profit target be the profit taking come in? It should come in right there, right? And that's exactly kind of what we just bounced off of. That was exactly the right spot. So, yeah, textbook finish. I do think we do break through. I think it's going to have to chop though. But again, that's a textbook turn. It hit and bounced. That's exactly 100% what it should have done. It should have hit the exact same level where those two hit, and that's exactly what it did. Okay. But yeah, I do think it pushes down. I'd like to see what we do when we get lower. This level actually should be more there based. There. So we'll see if we can get through that next. But after that, we got a kind of a free fall. So yeah. So hopefully you guys got that. Easy setup. Talked about it during Nadex. NQ, magically look at that. Did the same exact thing. Came up 930 right there, and then the 930 is where it rolled. And this one is also probably out of its 1 to 3 already. Let's see if this one is completed. 1 to 3 is there. This one has already done its 1 to 3. So there's 2 setups at the open / for Bernard. Again, you should have been in both of them. This one, this breaks 15.8. I think this one is a short as well. It's got a little bit lower, but yeah, buddy. Let's see. YM. YM bit choppier through. YM a little bit more insulated. It didn't quite make it up to that top zone. This is the problem with this one is this zone here is not really a true zone because it started back here. The big one was up here and it didn't enter. So it looks like YM, it's going short. The open was definitely chopping people back and forth. It's pushing down. So again, two for 3. We'll say that this was a failed one, even though not really the best of zones. It's been there before. Here, buddy. And then Russell, let's see if Russell gave it to us. What? You're okay. Yeah, see, Russell. The problem with Russell is it didn't have a zone. It's sellers here. This was at 9:15, 9:45. Yeah, we were all the way up. Russell didn't have an entry. So, yeah, so it looks like two for three. And again, that's why we didn't have anything drawn on this one because it just, you know, again, it's all about finding the best opportunity. The ESNQ and again, YM is kind of the split one. Yeah, I can see that you can hear him now because he's sitting on my chest. He's right next to the microphone. Yeah, buddy. What do you want, buddy? Oh, what? What? Say, oh, it's been 6 minutes. I haven't eaten. I need to eat. Yeah, he's just started talking. Yeah. I'm trying to keep him from like going into like full meltdown mode. Like if I put him next to me, you guys probably wouldn't hear him, but for you to actually hear him, he would be in full blown like shake. Happened yesterday. Melissa was making dinner. And he went into full meltdown, like where it's like his face was all red. There's tears coming down. I picked him up, and he was doing the, the breathing thing. He's still jerky. He just headbutted the headphones. So, what's that? Is there lights? Do you want to see the lights? Do you see the lights? So, yeah. Yeah, so it looks like we made it to 1020 before he melted down. But anyway, hopefully you guys were able to grab these two. Like I said, that one is now officially out. You can see we're deep in the zone, and look, it's pulling back again from that zone, exactly as it should. So ESNQ were the best two looking setups as far as the indices goes. YM got chopped around a little bit. And again, if you wanted to say, we were at 930 and be like, hey, what happened here? It's going to be insulated a bit more. And then again, Russell is starting to come back down. So, all right, Kip, give me 5 more minutes. How about 1 more minute? 1 more minute. Give me 1 more minute. He's like, no, you need to get up and walk around, Dad. Being controlled by my little kids. Anyway, again, very, very easy play. I would say, again, watch for the same things. Watch for the pullbacks tomorrow morning. I think the retail sales numbers, everybody knows it's a big number. And, again, we'll see what comes in. With it predicted to be this low, it's really opened up for a nice little miss and a nice little, push off of it. Remember, it's at 8:30 though, so it is going to be a little bit earlier release, less volume, but should be easily manipulated. All right, buddy. Look for a spike, whether up and down at core retail sales, and then look for a reversal at 9:30 tomorrow morning. It's going to be the way to play this one. But you're seeing all the currencies. We talked about the dollar rebounding. Look at this. 24-hour change down huge the last hour. U.S. traders come online, reversal here, reversal here, reversal here, reversal here. It's all the same reversals that we mentioned. And again, U.S. trader comes online, we should see the dollar flip, and it's doing it on every single one of the pairs. So easy morning. Again, you got to be able to plan and look ahead. Again, we knew what Bernard was going to say, but again, we're seeing it. Should have been an easy grab across the board. So with that said, let's go ahead and do the drawing real fast, just because, again, I don't want to, Will won yesterday. So today Will's going for 100. A little bit different of a thing. We will do, by the way, since we're not on tomorrow, we will also do, and I couldn't be on yesterday. We will do 50 on Monday as well. So it'll be a 50 chip Monday. I know it doesn't rhyme as like 50 chip Friday is better than 50 chip Monday, but we're gonna carry it forward just a little bit. Oh, now you're gonna be nice. You're gonna lay here now. Yeah. Now he's lovey. Now he's giving me a hug. So I don't know what he wants. Kids are so manipulative. All right. So let's close this down, and we'll see who takes it for today. Looks like a somewhat fair battle. Will's got a little bit of an edge over Neuro, and we'll see how it goes. So winner of today's drawing is, look at that, Will. Will had what? Excuse me, 35% chance. Not bad. Neuro tried to get in there and kind of play with it. So look, Will getting a double, which means Monday, Will is going for a triple of 250. Wow, look at that. And I got to say, Will doesn't normally throw in extra tickets, right? Normally, Will's like, he's slow and steady with his one. He doesn't want to risk the extra ones. Today, it paid him off. Today, it paid off, right? He used those 40 plus the free one he got and ended up taking, more out of it. So let's go ahead back to the leaderboard and give Will, oh, look at this. Look at this. Whoops, not that many. God, could you imagine if I hit 1,000? My God, Ernest, my phone would be ringing before I could get off the stream today. Give him his 100 chips for his double, and bam, look at that. Broke 6,000. 6,000 pip chips. Will's not a spender. Will still has a mentor session that he actually did turn in forever ago, but he's always been too busy to actually talk to me. Kind of feeling hurt, Will, right? Kind of feeling hurt. I didn't forget, Will, right? You were supposed to let me know when you weren't as busy and we could actually do your mentor session, but, didn't forget about you, buddy. Didn't forget about you. So But that said, again, not surprised any of this stuff is collapsing. I think it all comes down today. YM is still chopping. Look at this, well past and well past. So I hope to God you guys got short both those. And again, I hope to God those Nadex people listened. We tried to give it to them. We told them it in 8:45 this morning. Wait for it to rally up. It's looking great. The Europeans are manipulating. Look for the short for all these things. So I don't know. Todd sometimes messages me. He's like, "Man, great call on that one." I really hope the Nadex people were able to take advantage of it today. So with that said, I'll catch you guys. Again, I will catch you for the Nadex presentation, which will go live on YouTube tomorrow morning. I won't be doing a full broadcast. I'll be at that conference. They didn't cancel it, so I'll be like double, triple masking it tomorrow. KN95 cloth mask, outbreak, yellow suit. I'm going everything tomorrow. Um, we'll see how it goes. So wish me luck. With that said, I'm out of here. You guys have a great trading day, and I'll see you tomorrow.